Hi stamp friends, this is Susan Smith with StampCreatively, and I have done some watercoloring with my ink pads, and I kind of want to show you what I created. I created a card by just using the Designer Series paper and watercoloring on the Designer Series paper. So I am going to show you how I did this. Okay. So what I did was I used a stamp set from Sale-a-bration, and it is called A Touch of Ink. My friends, I can't remember which way my camera goes. Okay, so I'm going to keep everything right side up and quit turning it over for you. Sorry. Okay, so I have A Touch of Ink, which when you order $100 worth of product, this stamp set is free. It has some butterflies, dragonflies. It's fantastic. And one of the things that you need to know about it is the images are larger than what you think. So the dragonfly, or the hummingbird, and the butterflies are way bigger than what you think they're going to be. Sometimes it's deceiving because it'll tell you what percentage you're seeing in the catalog. And then in this catalog, the January to June, and again, if you don't have these, you just need to message me. I can get them to you. This paper down here, it's called True Love Designer Series paper, and it's all in black and whites, which I love a good black and white because then I get to color it. So that's what I decided to do here. So I took my piece of Designer Series paper, I stamped the butterfly and the little polka dots on it, and I am with Versamark. I used my Versamark pad, and I embossed them in gold. And then after I embossed them in gold, they look like this. So you can see them on that paper. And then I took some ink pads, and I used Flirty Flamingo, I used Mango, I used Pool Party, and I used Granny Apple. And you can see I just put a little refills in the lid. So you can see, and what I'll do is I'll show you kind of how I do that. So here's my mango refill. I'm just going to drop a couple of drops in the lid. And this is one of the reasons when you get our stamp pads, you want to make sure you get the refills because it is a game changer. One, I like to keep a juicy pad, so I re-ink mine regularly, but then I use the refills to color with. So here's one of our water painters, and the key to doing this is just to allow it to be pretty diluted. You don't, it's a piece of paper, so when you get it wet, it's going to crinkle a little bit, which is why after it crinkled, I mounted it really well. So I'm going to go around, and there are detailed color people, and then there's me. I don't re-ink a ton. You know, I don't add more color to my brush because I want it to be varying shades of that color. Okay, so I'm going to go around and put my mango on as many things as I want. I'm going to come back with the Flirty Flamingo and go over some of them, not all of them. Hit some of the buds. I wanted it to look watercolor washy, not detailed. So again, this is the second time I've pulled ink out of that. So I've gone over and added, so I have my Flirty Flamingo and my mango, and now I'm going to take my Granny Apple. Again, that's pretty wet and pretty diluted. And then I know where the leaves are. I did the leaves first the last time, and then I found that I missed like half of them. So this way I can kind of see where the leaves are. So I've hit my leaves. Now I'm going to get the ink out of there. The other times I really haven't bothered to get the color out. But I wanted my butterflies to be blue. So they showed up. I did this as a camp card. And this was one of the favorites, just because it was a little bit different. So I've made my blue butterflies. I'm going to close all these up. Oh, you know what? That's not true. I also stamped some words. I did the thank you so much on a little piece of Whisper White. And I'm going to take just a little bit and kind of just go over the top. It doesn't really matter what color I do it in. The stark white paper was a problem for me. We all have our issues. Sometimes stark white paper is mine. I may need to go back and texture it or do something just a little bit different to it. So now that I've got my card created, I am going to use my seal. And because again, remember I said this was a little wet and a little warpy, I'm going to go around and put it on all four sides. I normally don't do that. Then I'm going to add it, even though I used Flirty Flamingo, I'm going to use a Petal Pink cardstock to mount it on. And then I really like, this is in the new catalog, it's a fine arts ribbon, and it's much more pliable than what you think, but it kind of has that craft color with the gold in it. So that's what I wanted to use for my ribbon, because it's like mixing textures. So I'm going to wrap this around and snip it behind. I'm going to add just a little bit more adhesive to the back and add it to the front. So I have my two shades. Again, on this one, I used the Pool Party. So you could use either one. This is even a different pattern of the florals. So you can see how they are just a little bit different, but the same. Then what I did was I took one last piece. I just cut a short piece of the same ribbon. And this is for the bow challenged people in the world, because then all you have to do is knot it, which we do love. Then I used the double oval punch, which is also in the January to June catalog. And that's where I'm going to punch out these words. So the small oval has my thank you so much. And then I took the painted texture embossing folder and ran some gold foil through. And I'm going to punch it out. And then with my Seal Plus, I'm going to stick this down with my dimensional. I'm going to stick this down. And so one says, hello friend, one says, thank you so much. We have all kinds of fantastic gold embellishments. So you can always put, these are the gilded gems. You can always add some of those to it to add a little bit of texture. So here's your finished card. And it's easy to do. It's fun to take a regular piece of black and white cardstock and color it. So thanks for joining me. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I hope to stamp with you again soon. Thanks.